Fox and Friends is leaning into the culture war, which is what they do best. Let's see what they're mad about today.
So I was watching the Super Bowl. One of my favorite things about it was the national anthem. I mean, the whole thing was great. It was great during COVID just to watch the whole experience. But if you go to a Dallas Mavericks game now, you will not hear or be able to stand for the national anthem because they're not playing it anymore. They're not singing it anymore. 13 preseason and regular season games, and it's not been played. In The Athletic, which is a publication, they just realized this. No one else has really noticed it or said anything. It hasn't been in the press. That's true. Yeah. So The Athletic, they write, this is the quote from that publication, the Dallas Mavericks have ceased playing the national anthem before home games this season and do not plan to play it moving forward. A decision made by the owner, Mark Cuban. The Mavericks did not publicize the anthem's removal. And Mark Cuban has declined to comment further on it, Brian.
Yeah, I texted him this morning. I also got this just cut and pasted. I cut and pasted another NBA owner cut and pasted it and just sent with no comment. And also this from Dan Patrick, the Lieutenant Governor of Texas. The decision to cancel our national anthem for the Dallas Mavericks is a slap in the face to every American and an embarrassment to Texas. Sell the franchise and some Texas patriot will buy it. We are the land of the free and home of the brave. So he's obviously outraged.
Imagine caring about this. Imagine giving a shit. I mean, basically the entire right-wing media ecosystem for years and years, their whole go-to trick was to call everybody like a little triggered snowflake who gets worked up over nonsense culture war bullshit. That's exactly what this is. You're getting worked up over nonsense culture war bullshit. You're the triggered snowflakes. Sorry to be continuing to use vernacular from frickin' 2014. These are also the same people who always say, we have to keep politics out of sports. When you have Colin Kaepernick kneeling, when you have LeBron making some sort of a political statement, they say, keep politics out of sports. Not only do they want politics in sports, they want it enforced from the top down. Which, by the way, is a totally different scenario because it's worse. It's worse. If you enforce politics from the top down, then people don't have a choice. At least in other instances like Kaepernick kneeling, that's him deciding as a free person to do a peaceful protest. So they do want politics in sports. They just want their version of politics, and they want it enforced from the top down. And I think that's clear. So imagine in the middle of a pandemic and a depression, this is what you're spending time on your morning news show. Oh my God, you don't want to say the national anthem and the Pledge of Allegiance. And why? Okay, I hate to burst everybody's bubble now if you don't understand this yet. That's authoritarian horseshit. It is. It is what it is. And you don't believe me? Do an intellectual exercise where you take out the United States and put in any other fucking country. Imagine if at the beginning of the school day, you stand up and say a pledge of allegiance to that flag. They do that in Iran, you'd look at it and be like, oh, that is fucking creepy, isn't it? What are they doing? Pledging support to a flag? What if the country that the flag represents does something wrong? Are you not allowed to criticize it? Now, that's Pledge of Allegiance, but same national anthem, same shit. Some like overly patriotic song. What are you doing? It's a sporting event. It's sports. Now, he already was not having the national anthem the entire season. The only reason why now people are talking about it is because this is the first time you have some fans, like a limited number of fans who are allowed in the building. And so now they're noticing, like, oh, it's just shit. There's no national anthem. Who cares? But this is Fox. By the way, oldest trick in the book. Get you worked up over culture war bullshit so that they continue to wage the class war and the economic war and continue to screw working people. If they can get you really worked up and angry over the pledge or abortion or whatever religious shit, remember when it was prayer in school was the big thing? That was a long time ago, by the way. But if they get you worked up over that, then they could continue to run out the back door with all the money. With subsidies for the wealthy, tax breaks for the wealthy. I mean, that's the way it works. And I'm not the one who figured this out. We're talking about Thomas Frank's "What's the Matter with Kansas?" like core argument. That's what it is. And so Fox is still the best at engaging in this. For an outlet that only represents the will of corporations and billionaires, they sure do a good job of using bullshit issues to appeal to some working class folks who don't realize they're getting had. So, I can't imagine being upset that they're not playing the national anthem at a sporting event. I mean, but there are people out there who will be worked up over this, and I just feel bad. It's just sad. It's genuinely sad. The best way to support your country, here's one: fight for everybody to have health care in said country. I love my country so much, I don't want to see 45,000 to 60,000 people die every year because they don't have basic health care. That's how much I love my country. I love my country so much, I wanted to end the offensive wars that we're waging. That's how much I love my country. I love my country so much that if I were running for president, one of my top issues, either my number one or my number two issue, would be an American deal, which is a new infrastructure deal, which would make our infrastructure the best in the world by far. It would give us a grade of A+. We'd destroy the world. We'd be the best in the world by far when it comes to our infrastructure. That's how much I love my country, that I want to rebuild it. I want to make it better. I want to end the wars. I want to save lives. I want to increase freedom. I would do that by legalizing marijuana. That's how much I love my country. If you think the metric as to whether or not you love your country is a dumbass authoritarian song at the beginning of a sporting event, you lost the plot, son.